There was a day where I sat in my garage and looked around at the thousands of dollars worth of astronomy equipment and thought, I'm done. I've seen everything I wanted to see, and the hobby had nothing left for me. I was ready to sell all of it, and that was the best thing that had ever happened to me. Because what came next didn't just save my relationship with astronomy, it completely changed how I understood it. If you're someone who's always been curious about the night sky but never quite known where to begin, I think it might change something for you too. My name is Trevor, this is Night Sky Voyager, and this is everything I wish someone had told me when I got started in astronomy. I got my first telescope when I was about 9 years old. It was a little 60mm Meade refractor, and it was a Christmas gift from my grandparents. And that's where you'd think the story starts, right? Kid gets telescope, falls in love with the stars, and spends every clear night outside. That's the version you're expecting, and that's not what happened at all. The telescope went up in the attic, and it basically stayed there. Not because I lost interest, I was still fascinated by space. Still reading about it, still thinking about it, but nobody in my family knew anything about astronomy. We lived under a canopy of trees in the bright suburbs, and somewhere along the way I convinced myself that I wasn't ready yet. That there were things I needed to learn first before I was actually allowed to get involved with this. So I waited. And I think a lot of people are still doing exactly that. Sometimes we treat astronomy as if you need to pass an exam to gain entrance. Like there's some threshold you have to cross before you're allowed to participate. Learn the constellations, understand the optics, memorize the catalogs, become an astronomy person. And until you've done that, you're just waiting on the sidelines. But that's not how curiosity works. Curiosity does not wait until you're qualified. It's the thing that makes you qualified. Eventually, if you just let it pull you forward. It wasn't until college that something finally shifted for me. I took a few astronomy courses as electives, and what I loved wasn't that I understood everything. I didn't. What I loved was that every lecture cracked open something new. The more I learned, the more I realized how much was still out there. And somewhere in that period, I finally dragged that little refractor out of storage and started pointing it at the brightest things that I could see in the night sky. I stopped waiting to be ready, and that's when astronomy actually started for me. If you've ever felt like astronomy was for other people, smarter people, more prepared people, people who already know what they're doing, I want you to hear this clearly. That feeling is the only thing standing between you and the night sky. Not your knowledge, not your equipment, not your location, just that feeling. And it's wrong. The universe has been up there your whole life, and it's been waiting on exactly nobody. Just give in to your curiosity, go out and take a look. Here's something I want you to know before you spend a single dollar on this hobby. The goal was never to own better equipment. The goal was always to have better nights. Those sound like the same thing, but they aren't. I know this because I spent years confusing them myself. I love equipment. Telescopes, eyepieces, mounts, filters, all of it. And for many years, I would tell people that I loved collecting the equipment as much as I loved stargazing. And that love turned into a trap. If I could just get a little more aperture, then I'd be satisfied. That premium eyepiece to finally complete my collection. A better mount, a darker sight, a more capable setup. The finish line just kept moving. And the thing about this hobby is that there is always something better. Always. So if you're not careful, you can spend so much time optimizing the experience that you forgot to actually have it. I built a telescope once around a 10-inch mirror that was donated to my astronomy club. I designed it myself, engineered the whole thing, and spent months on it. And I'm really proud of it. But when I look back on that experience, the parts that I actually remember aren't the specs. They're the nights at the drafting table, the moments of discovery at the eyepiece, the people that I shared them with. That same beat up 60mm refractor that most observers wouldn't glance at twice, some of my most important experiences in this hobby happened through that telescope. The telescope was just the vehicle. The curiosity was always the point. Whatever you have right now, be it a cheap pair of binoculars, or a department store telescope, or even nothing at all, is enough to start. The equipment will get better over time, but the curiosity that you bring to your first night outside, that's everything you need. For a long time, I treated astronomy like a checklist. See Neptune, check. Whirlpool Galaxy, check. Helix Nebula, Andromeda Galaxy, M13, check, check, check. And for a while, that worked. But eventually, I started running out of things that I was excited to chase. I started dreading the long drive out to Cherry Springs, was generating excuses not to go, and genuinely wondering why I was still bothering. So I could see M13 again, objects I'd already logged a dozen times. I had the gear and I had the sky, but I had completely run out of reasons to go outside. That moment, right there, is where many people leave the hobby for good. I almost did. I was ready to sell it all. And during this time, I actually threw away my little refractor. Now, if you're just starting out, that might sound hard to imagine. How do you run out of universe? But here's what I want you to take from that moment, because you'll hit a version of it eventually, and I want you to be ready when you do. I thought astronomy was about seeing objects. I was approaching it like a mechanic, cataloging, logging, checking boxes. What I needed to become was a voyager. What I eventually figured out is that astronomy is really about learning to observe, and those are not the same thing. The first time you find the Ring Nebula, the thrill is in the chase, finding it. But the 10th time, if you actually slow down, you start noticing structure that you completely missed before. Details that were always there, just waiting. It changes depending on where it is in the sky, what the conditions are, and how long you're willing to look. The sky didn't get deeper. I did. I learned averted vision, learned how conditions affect what you can pull out of an eyepiece, and more importantly, I learned how to actually slow down and observe. And objects I thought I was finished with suddenly had more to show to me. Every time I thought I'd reached the edge of this hobby, there was another layer underneath. Astronomy stopped being something to complete. It became something to pursue. This isn't a hobby with a finish line. It's a hobby with a horizon. And the further you go, the further it stretches. Every time you think you've seen everything worth seeing, the sky finds a way to surprise you. That's not frustrating. It's the whole point. Astronomy is not something you complete. It's something you fall in love with. If you'd asked me years ago what astronomy looked like, I'd have described someone standing alone in a field with a telescope. And that image isn't wrong. Some of my favorite nights have been exactly that. Just me, a quiet sky, and no distractions. But the most meaningful part of this hobby has never been the telescope. It's been the people. After college, I spent a lot of time observing solo, loading up my car, driving out to a park, explaining myself to the police, and figuring everything out through trial and error on my own. I learned a lot that way, but I also struggled a lot, probably more than I needed to. Then, by happenstance, I had a conversation at my company's holiday party with my boss's husband, who turned out to be an amateur astronomer and a longtime member of the local astronomy club. A few months later, I had joined the Cuyahoga Astronomical Association, and looking back, that might be the single most important decision I ever made in this hobby. Suddenly, I wasn't figuring everything out alone. I had people with decades of experience to learn from. I could look through different telescopes, ask questions, skip mistakes that they had already made. And maybe, most importantly, I found people who completely understood why standing outside in the dark, staring at faint fuzzy objects was a worthwhile way to spend an evening. Those people became very close friends. Those friendships led to trips, outreach events, and experiences that I never could have planned. Eventually, they led me to become the president of the club. But those moments that have really stuck with me are smaller than that. Watching a young kid see Saturn for the first time, helping someone track down an object that they've been chasing for weeks or months, sharing an eyepiece with a stranger at a star party. You can watch astronomy documentaries, you can browse astrophotography, read articles, follow channels, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. But there's something that happens when you're standing next to another person under the same sky, looking at the same thing in real time that doesn't come through a screen. Somewhere out there is a club, a star party, a community of people who felt exactly what you're feeling right now. That mix of wonder and uncertainty and not quite knowing where to begin. And they found each other. And they're waiting for you too. That's exactly what I'm building here. A place for people who want to stop being consumers and start being voyagers. If that's where you're headed, subscribe. Your people are already here.